Okay, here we go. Volume is off. Okay, we'll see if that loop comes back now. If I'm just using Studio and not YouTube itself, if I have to have 3 laptops just to do a live stream, that kind of makes it a little too cumbersome. I have my camera set up here so I can look at my chat right beside the camera, so it sort of looks like I'm looking at you. So see if that the loop is still there or if it's gone. I would really love it to be gone. But we'll bring up another website in the meantime just to see if my presenter is going to work. I think we got it. I think Studio is the way to go, but I can't watch on YouTube. Where is it? I think we're good now. Here we go. The loop is quieter and more in the background. Yeah, what that is I got a separate laptop that I've been watching, and so the audio that's coming through that is getting picked up by the microphone. So I'm going to mute that, and there shouldn't be any echo now. So you're going to have to tell me if the audio is all good now. I'm assuming it is. And we can kind of play around with this now. So this is that. And so yeah, there was a couple more comments I wanted to make about the Rule 122H. And maybe if we have time we can just walk through it. So I'll leave this up and I'll clip it. Where are we at here? We're at 41 minutes. So I'll clip the whole front part of this off and post this. So starting at 42 minutes or whatever it is, 43 minutes. We'll clip it from here and start. Hey, Dad. Yeah, I saw your comments there. So yes, I think we've got this figured out. So I'll try to use this streaming setup for now. Although I saw Friends in Code earlier in here. Shoot, maybe we'll just go to his website. Give Friends in Code a little shout out here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. How about no? No, let's just start over. Yeah, I saw your question about Direct D there. Um, I just kind of saw it while I was fiddling around with this. And so once I get my act together, we can kind of walk through a couple of ideas here. I'm going to pull up those comments. I guess I can, instead of having to type them, I can just go ahead and answer them for you. So what are we watching on channel here? This is okay. All right, we're on the page I want. So you should be seeing the Friends and Code YouTube homepage. Let's get that out of the way. And so they got something they're building. I don't know who they are, the coder people. I know nothing about coding. I know barely anything about operating any of these devices. They should probably be confiscated from me. But they're developing a streaming platform called Trax T over here. So there was a stream I watched I don't know, 30-40 minutes of it, and a lot of it's over my head. I'm gonna have to go back and look at this 1 hour live stream, but it seems to have the capability of doing multi-streaming to different platforms and different sources and whatnot. So if Friends and Code can bail me out one of these days, then we might use a different type of streaming platform. But I wanted to get this OBS not mastered, but have some capability. So let's switch back to the camera. So you should get that happening. And I'm just gonna read a couple of these comments that came in the last little while. I've got. Did you notice the time frame that Ruff did his hatchet job on Phoshin and the time that Rachel Stiles was complaining about Phoshin's live broadcast with Lane? Kind of hand in hand media. Yeah, that just the timing of all of this is so suspicious because Lane ought to have been working on his New Mexico dealio there, getting ready to have his hearing in New Mexico. And so none of this really, it's just too convenient that all this came and arose at once. The secret grand jury indictments just came out of left field. And the stuff with Ruff, again, I think I had left a comment for Lane. I think I said yesterday that I emailed him, but I think I had left a comment. It's like, just forget about this. You got bigger fish to fry right now. And, he's a big boy. He can do what he wants. But I mean, it was great entertainment value to to see that YouTube beef with. Sorry. It was funny. That was some good content, I admit, but priorities, man. Priorities. You got to be focused on staying out of jail and winning your cases, and that did not help. Like, it was, how many, 3 or 4 or 5 web streams he did? Yeah. And then PPS, at what point do you think that Lane realized that Ruff was working with the prosecution for a lesser charge? That I don't know what's going on with Ruff. Like, I think I said yesterday, I think you had asked me if I saw such and such thing where Ruff said this, and I said yesterday, to be honest, I can't watch more than 5 minutes at a time, because I mean, he just sits there and stares at his comments and then lights a cigarette or eats a banana or hits his bong, and it's like mostly silence. It's like watching Crackhead Kenny on Bao's channel. So it's hard to watch. So if someone like Bao is restreaming it or Lane is covering it, like I can follow along, but I don't have what it takes to sit there and watch Christopher Ruff live streaming. It's just too painful. So there might be something very important that is taking place on his live streams, but I don't have the intestinal fortitude to endure that. So uh, um, credit to you guys that can sit through that and watch it so we don't have to. I guess, yeah, all of us working together, maybe we can get stuff accomplished and report back to one another. But I don't know. Like I can't sit through a 5 hour, 6 hour rough live stream, or even a replay of it at 2 times speed. Maybe I don't know. Like I want to help Lane, but I'm just not that committed. If you know what I mean. So, anyways, yeah, those were those two questions. Let's see. Comment from Mr. Osgood. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, and then you left another comment. P.S. Keep in mind that they already have the powerful voice of the state behind them. You don't owe them free speech. That is what they owe you. Yeah, like it's the free speech applies to what the government is allowed to limit you. Like we, the people, are allowing or tolerating certain things from the government, and some things we won't tolerate. And that ability to govern us is limited. But what are we doing here? Let's switch to this. Yeah. Yeah, check out Friends and Code. Very techy, nerdy stuff. I'm interested in it. I just don't know. Like my brain isn't wired to follow this kind of very technical computer, especially software and coding stuff. So, yeah, I'll do my best. I'm on a learning curve here just with what I'm trying to pull off. But if they make something that's very user friendly, like this OBS has not been terribly user friendly. I'm all for trying other things, and I haven't even got to Streamlabs or StreamYard. That would be the next one, so that I could do panels. So as long as I get comfortable using OBS here, then I'll move on to the next thing, because it'll just overwhelm me if I try to add too many elements all at once. Because I'm going to shut this down, the stream, and then the next time I start up, I'm going to forget what I did and have to start from scratch. So maybe I need to have some cheat notes here. But in any case, you should be seeing my DuckDuckGo search page. And so if you type in Matthew Walker, Tucson prosecutor, that's not an invasion of his privacy. That's inquiring about his role as a public servant. We got a bunch of. There's actually some content here that is connected to his name. How about that? We've looked at this Arizona Prosecuting Attorneys Advisory Council site before. That's where he's got that disclosure in his contents video hidden behind a paywall. Some other stuff. Background. There's something from who's this guy? Lane Myers, Channel for Nonviolent Social Change. That looks interesting. But here's the one. So you can just Google Matt Walker. Actually, let's see what happens if you Google. Well, no, there's probably 70 bazillion Matthew Walkers in the world. So you gotta narrow down the search to Matthew Walker, Tucson prosecutor, and it'll bring you to this, which is what we're interested in today, at least for the next few minutes. Hi Sylvia, welcome on in. I was just doing a test stream, and a few people showed up. I think I got rid of the echo that I was trying to get rid of yesterday. I don't know if you were around for that, but that turned into a big hot mess. So I just had a few more things to say about this petition by Matt Walker, Matthew Aloysius Walker, Principal Assistant Prosecuting City Attorney. So we've got this ability to make public comment. And so this was just the instructions on how to do that. Go to the FAQ. And yeah, there's no need to watch all the way from the beginning because I'm going to be clipping off the first 40 minutes or so of this because that was all me fooling around with the software. So we can sit around and chat for a few minutes here till I got other manly man things to do outside. Play around in the mud some more. So it basically gives you the instructions to comment. So you have to register here. See, how do I register? Okay, where is that? How do I register? Okay, let's go through this. You must register with the Court Rules Forum site before you are permitted. So click on the register button, which I think is at the top. No. I think it's over here. Yeah, so you want to register by clicking on this button. I think I had looked at this before. Well, let's just see what happens. Let's fill this out. Get old Brenty registered with Arizona Supreme Court. And before you know it, got the FBI at my place. Oh no, let's use this. The FBI asking why I'm meddling in Lane Myers' affairs. Just typing one-handed because I got a coffee in my other hand. Generate a password, security code. Can't even read that. Y and A Q 9A. All right. Before posting, please read. Please include all your contact information. This website allows you to electronically file and monitor court rule petitions. So, what am I looking for now? All right, well, I'm registered. Now I don't know how to find. There's no clickable links here or what? In any case, if you get registered and you can actually find the place where you're commenting, my advice is make comments along the lines of what we were talking about in previous live streams, not just kind of simplistic, you guys are wrong, or I don't like this rule, do not let this rule go past. It's sort of like you need to make an argument that the Supreme Court is going to want to hear, not just this makes me unhappy. You can sign off on your comment by that, but I don't know if they're only giving you, say, a limited amount of space to type your comment in. So here, I'll go back to camera view. I don't know if they're giving like whether you can write a 10,000 word essay or you're limited to 1,000 characters in your comment. So that's kind of remains to be seen. So I don't know if anybody's left any comments. And so, yeah, my suggestion would be is to say the rule in question, has already been determined to be protected behavior, namely recording your own proceeding. And Matt Walker's argument in the petition states this, and like pick apart his petition, like bit by bit, because in his own petition he argues against the rule change, saying this is protected speech, this is the right of the defendant to do this. However, the rights and the ability of the witnesses, the victim, the plaintiff has to be, their protection needs to be maintained, and it's bad actors doing these things. It's like all presumptive, all conclusory, none of it's substantiated, and none of it is, it would be an infringement upon your First Amendment right to do that. So you need to kind of, my advice would be to make an argument, pick one topic or pick one line of Matt Walker's petition, and I showed you the other day how to bring that up. You can either look at it on Word or PDF, I believe. If somebody wants me to show you how to do that again, we can go back and do it. But it's just clicking the buttons at the bottom of that petition page we were originally looking at. Well, I'll show you very quickly. It's going to take 2 seconds. So. It was... yeah, now I won't be able to find it. Well, we'll just go back to... back to that Matthew Walker search. Again, I'm not used to Windows, so I don't even know how to do that. How to look up my history and just click on stuff, but this page here. Oh, I gotta log in now? Or not? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have registered. Oh well. Maybe I screwed myself. But in any case, it was the very first one. Here, did I click on the right link? Yeah, that was the link. Let's see. You get the idea. It's here. I guess don't register. Did I miss it? Don't register an account if you're unable to get verified. What the heck? Too funny. Yeah, I don't want to log in. How do you log in? Just a comment too. This Arizona courts.gov compared to the New Mexico site that they got, this is garbage. I mean, this is so user unfriendly. All of it. Yeah, I'm trying to log in. So how would you let me do that? Oh my. Like this was the other day. I was looking for Lane's doc, the court docket to see what's scheduled on these cases, and there's nothing. I couldn't find it. Whereas you go to the New Mexico courts, district courts page, website, and it's pretty easy to navigate. So again, part of the process, they hate the public and they don't want people necessarily finding out what's going on, or at least making it easy on you. They're making it as difficult on you all the time. But in any case, that's kind of my advice: is look at the petition, get yourself a copy of that, read through it, and respond specifically to what you don't like in what Matt Walker has said. Not that you don't like his hairdo, or you think that he's this, that, or the other. That it's a kangaroo railroad job, which or that he's a shitty prosecutor. Because there's just so many weird things going on surrounding this particular individual, Lane Myers, with all the lawfare that's being waged against him. It's just too much to be coincidental. Like human beings were pattern recognition specialists, and when you just see all these things adding up, it just, the probabilities are too remote that this would naturally just occur all at once. That Direct D would suddenly rise up, come out of his shed, and start waving his fist at Lane Myers, and Lane is one who, he's not going to back down, or he's not going to take that sitting down. So yeah, he's going to respond. So if anything, being critical of Lane is, just settle. Like he's doing this to you to get a rise out of you, and it seems that that might be a skill that Chris Ruff has, the ability to rattle cages and get reactions, or that kind of thing. So in contrast, I look at what Bao's reaction has been. He just laughs whenever Chris Ruff makes any kind of attempt. And that Woody Woodpecker laugh is delightful. You got to go check out Smurf Watch with Bao or Clash with Bao. It might not be your taste, but I just about cracked a rib last night laughing so hard. It was I don't know. It's really really helpful for me. Reactive abuse. Yeah. There's got to be a way to blow up the chat screen too. So, let's play around with this. Okay, if I close that there and do theater mode. I'm just playing around my devices here, seeing if I can make this easier for me to view. No, it just goes right back to. I'd like to get the chat down here. So I don't need to see myself, I just need to see the chat. But in any case, yeah, everything is too suspicious. I saw a Jason Zwack video, I think from this morning, or it wasn't posted this morning. I watched it this morning, and it was from a few days ago. Let's see if we can pull that up. That might be an interesting one to look at. How do we do this? So yeah, I'm gonna close this because I screwed myself here. I played myself. Let's just pull up YouTube. This is okay. But let's go just to my home page. Here we go. Let's restream. Okay.
Get away from me.
That was the one we caught live.
Get away from me.
I wonder if he's at the police station yet.
Comes off the steps and he just fucking grabs my camera, throws it on the ground.
Oh, the cops are here. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The cops?
Throws my camera on the ground, rips this thing out of my hand, and then he just starts to...
We're back to the live. Back to the live. The pigs are here. The Canadian pigs are here.
Sorry, the assault happened at the Hot Church. Can you sign me off? I can't access the empty and I'm just trying to ask.
Bear spritz.
One will take two.
Smurf watching Smurf juice deployment.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway, he comes down, he basically breaks my camera, not breaks it, but like throws it on the ground. He busts this in half, I just fixed it. And then he starts attacking me, so I defend myself by pushing back. And then he goes up to the
Then I
stairs, grabs an
smurfed
axe. And
Give
I
a
had
good
my
warning, Smurf.
I had my dog spray, and I just gave him a little psh, and he backed
Little-
off.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, all these people came out of nowhere. One guy had a collapsible baton, and then they started, what's
Do
that?
you have any injuries? Do you need an ambulance?
No, I don't need it. I'm not having any injuries. But I'm trying to back up. I'm backing up, and then they keep coming at me, and they have bricks in their hand. They're throwing bricks at me, like at my head.
Okay.
So I booted around here, and I came back here, and that's my car there. I parked here.
Okay. And you said you can't access
is
it
Bao.
because it's live. Does anyone have a recording of it?
Well, it's once I stop the live. you
Oh
can see
man. They can't just go watch it. Just go watch it, pigs.
Yeah.
The area?
it. Yeah.
Are you able to stop
Yeah.
it?
I'm just gonna tell my audience here.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, everybody, I gotta stop this live.
Oh, man, just tell her to go on your
leave my
channel.
recording. I'll go live as soon as we're done. I'll be back. Stay
This
tuned.
is some bullshit,
Mad
man.
Lab
You don't
Press.
have another device, man? This is some bullshit, man. Just show her your bitch ass fucking stream, man.
Here we go. Oh, I still haven't subscribed.
Keep an eye on this live. It's a winter uniform.
Bringing up real good detail analysis.
Are they shouting out Flash Eye? Flash Eye! Flash Eye! Flash Eye! Flash Eye!
N-O-N-S-H-A-N-N-O-N
Every time I listen to her.
S-H-A-N-N-O-N S-H-A-N-N-O-N
They're going to blackmail him out of there. They're going to make him decide, because his only protection is his recording. They're going
Are
to
they
tell
saying
him he has to turn
rap
his recording off or he has to leave. So he decides to leave, and then they swoop in there, sign all the pieces of paper real quick, and then give him back all these stuff that he put on appeal for the record. Now, here's another thing. This is on appeal. How can they use this as evidence in a case against him when it's on appeal? Everything freezes when it's on appeal. So nothing about. Oh, and the judge also quotes case law, which is not, doesn't set precedents. It literally says do not use this as an argument in court. And the judge quotes it, and then on top of that, he modifies the conditions of the release when Mr. Myers isn't even there. So how could any of this be usable? This is the shit right here. I cannot stand.
A defendant who made calls to building employees. And 2012 Westlaw 209751, paragraph 25, text talks about a defendant who made calls to building employees and others with the
calls, not call.
With the intent to
calls, not call.
Sir, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to ask you to leave.
I'm about to leave voluntarily.
You're not going to get a chance to make your record.
Notice how he says, I'm asking you to leave, right? And then watch how quickly these two goons swoop in. And how do they even know that they're supposed to return his stuff that's supposed to be on the record? The judge never tells them that. They just automatically do that.
You're getting overturned on appeal whether I do or not.
So you've been warned.
You've been warned. You're getting sued too.
All right. I'm asking you to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that'll be posted on. Somebody will mail it to me or something.
We're going to give it to you right now.
Cool, thank you.
Right here for me saying that you got it. Sign this right here saying that you got it.
Cool. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Do you want your little flash drive back?
Yeah. I thought it was on the record for appeal.
Hold on.
So Lane had been. Okay, I gotta turn down this audio again, otherwise we're gonna get a little echo. Lane was getting frustrated at this point, and he didn't get his evidence signed in. And I forget if this was Judge Ball on this particular one at this hearing. I'd have to go back and look at that. Maybe Jason can contact me, and it's getting so muddled for me to follow what is going on. And so in any case, Lane had a stick of exhibits that he wanted to enter in evidence, and the court clerks, the court staff is bringing him something to sign that's essentially he's acknowledging that he's not going to be entering those exhibits into evidence. That's my understanding. And it's almost like they planned to have it this way. And the plaintiff over here, the alleged victim by the alleged criminal aggressor, intimidator, harasser, she produced a CD-ROM, like a disc, and Lane didn't have the ability to view the files that were on the disc that she submitted as evidence. And again, this is just my understanding. I'm trying to follow this because Jason is covering this video, which was back in, or this hearing, which was back in the fall time, October, November, early December. I'd have to go back and look on Lane's channel as to when this actually occurred. But in any case, she was able to submit evidence that Lane didn't even get a chance to view. And so in signing this paper that this court staff is bringing over to Lane, he's essentially acknowledging that her evidence is going to be allowed to be admitted, and he doesn't submit any evidence. So if you look on the court filings, our buddy Lane doesn't have any evidence to that he can bring up at the actual hearing. And this is where the disconnect comes from me. It's like, is there one long process going on here? Or are the grand jury indictments as felonies building on this evidence? Because is Rachel Style using the evidence that was originally submitted This is where it all becomes unclear to me. And so at this point, if there's a way for Lane to go back and say, hey, they did me dirty, they made me sign this, they made me, the plaintiff here pulled a fast one, and I'm not getting my due process. If they say, well, too late, no do-overs, well, then it's like the fix is in. But if there could be a motion where go back and look at that video, watch it all for yourself. I'm not doing a good job describing what's going on there. Again, I'm trying to piece this together and trying to think of, what happened, what went wrong. Can we fix that? Is it possible to repair and get back on track with what's already happened? Or have we crossed the point of no return? Like, can we have a new evidentiary hearing where, I think they were trying to have an evidentiary hearing. And again, I can't find the case file that has all the filings on that Arizona.gov, ArizonaCourts.gov website. So I think I said yesterday the next hearing on the 15th is I think it's a case management hearing, and it might just be a case management conference. I think I called it a plea conference or a negotiation. So yeah, kind of forget what I said yesterday. It's properly called a case management hearing, and I don't know if that's going to be public or kind of a private hearing, just between counsel and the defendant. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think there ought to be an ability to go back and correct some of these procedural things that were done to Lane where he didn't realize they were happening to him, and a lawyer might have been able to protect him from these missteps just because they know the rules, or a lawyer might have been able to say to Lane, you realize that in signing this, you're giving up your ability to enter evidence into the record, and that's where Lane's at. Like, he doesn't have anything on the record to help himself, by my understanding. I'm not a lawyer or legal counsel, but that's just how I'm seeing the situation at this point. Again, is it even relevant that he's gonna get anything on the record to defend himself? It seems like no matter what he does, they've already worked out a contingency to further damage him. So at this point, I kind of see it as just mitigating the damage. And I could be wrong. There could be a very simple solution. We just file this writ and done. Like I say, Lane had kind of given me the assignment to look into the habeas corpus, and I kind of get what's going on there, but I don't know that even that is going to help him at this point. So again, I'm not trying to be defeatist, or I am very cynical towards the system trying to get justice and a fair hearing for Lane. It seems for the last 6 months, well, going back to right around this time last year is when all this started happening in May. So, 10 months ago. Whether it was Deloria or the initial officers that took the statements from the staff at Riley's, Mackenzie and Jordy, like, there was weirdness from the very beginning, from the get-go. And it just seems that's the way they roll in Tucson, or at least Pima County. And just the way it's been punted from city to county to one prosecutor to the next. And so Lane is continually having to reconfigure has had to reconfigure what he's doing, because now he's got a different judge to file with. Now he's got a different prosecutor to communicate with, a different office. And so now emails that were sent the day before, well, that person is now off the case. So now I got to redirect all this communication in a different direction to a different person, a different staff. I got to get to know the receptionist there and sweet talk her so that I can get my emails through as quickly as possible. Like it's a process, and so he's already been punished by the process, and now he's being damaged by being in a cage. So I'm just explaining, how I see what has happened. I'm not saying I agree with it. It's totally offensive to all my sensibilities. But, the bottom line is like what's going to get him out and what's going to get him made whole. I don't know. Like this is not looking good as far as actually being able to get through the system they got going in Pima County anyway. Can it be requested to another venue? I don't know. It just seems it's going from bad to worse in the last month or so. And how do we get that wreckage sorted through and get that train back on track? That's been my desire, not my focus, but it's just that's what I'm thinking about. Like are we able to assist? Not being lawyers, just being lay people, but having a sense of desire to have liberty and freedom and enjoy our constitutional rights, if there is such a thing. Because I do still hold out some sliver of hope that the system will do the right thing, but the evidence is mounting more and more that it's a Soviet style system, and they've got gulags prepared for Lane and the rest of us, and due process is just a myth. You may as well search out by a unicorn ranch run by leprechauns at this point, and just live off the pot of gold that you're going to invest in, because it just the reality, I can be a realist and a pragmatist. All the evidence is pointing that this is not what we were sold as far as Bill of Rights and the constitutional amendments and being a public landowner. Like it all just seems like a fairy tale at this point. And I so want to be wrong about that. So it would be so much easier if the system as described to us is in fact what's in operation, but I see very little evidence of that. So with that, unless anybody has any questions, I don't even know, two people watching, it's probably just myself. If anybody's still here and has a question, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I'm going to shut it down for now and go check out what Bad Badger's up to. All right, so I hope I answered questions by Dad. Thanks for keeping the conversation going. That it is helpful, because you're seeing stuff that I don't have the stomach to watch, but I can react to it anyway. And it might be that somebody needs to do a breakdown of Ruff's broadcasts. This was said, this is what we need to be aware of, but I'm not the person to do that. I can't do it. I'm not committing. Maybe I just need to toughen up and be willing to go through the mind-numbing stupidity that is Christopher Ruff. Oh my. How did we get here? All right, that's it. Let's call it a day. Maybe I'll be back later, but